Welcome back to the Now Morning Show, 6:38 a.m. And we have a very interesting conversation this morning because we're talking about golf, but golf with a difference. Reframing the mindset of the Caribbean when it comes to taking part in a sport that definitely is one that we all have come to know, but maybe not love as much. Golf Games TT Wedge Wars had their corporate edition in December of 2022. And joining us to share more this morning is Kevin Eifell, co-founder of Golf Games and the winner of Wedge Wars TT, Liam Bryden. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you.
Morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. How are you doing this morning?
Fine. All good. No problems at all.
Wonderful. How are you, Liam?
Very well, thank you.
Wonderful. It's wonderful to have you guys with us this morning. So let's start with you, Kevin. What inspired you to start Golf Games TT, and what exactly is it?
So Golf Games TT is isolated. We look to isolate the disciplines of golf. Myself and my co-founder, Russell Dos Ramos, just as good friends and avid sportsmen. He's an avid cricketer and I'm an avid footballer. We just thought of trying to make golf a little bit more Trini friendly. Bring that sort of fet match mentality to golf, as we both play fet match in our other disciplines. And that's how it came about. We thought we'd make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more appealing to the general public and to a wider demographic.
Okay, great. And Liam, just listening to what Kevin said there, how did it feel taking part in the event? Did you feel that fet match difference than you normally would on the course?
Of course, yeah. The concept's great. It's in between the lineman factor, having fun with your friends, and then there's that competitive aspect with the Wedge Wars. So I'd be liming, having a drink, and then as soon as I step on that stage and hit a golf ball, it's straight competition. I want to win. So it's a nice mix of fun and competition.
Interesting that you said that, a stage, because we normally wouldn't associate golf with a stage. So Kevin, share with us a bit behind this concept more, because now I'm thinking fets.
Yeah,
stage.
So a stage just to make it a spectacle, because we're going to make a kind of production out of it to bring a little bit extra life and a little extra excitement and entertainment value.
Okay, wonderful. So what exactly was the corporate edition about?
So the corporate edition, so this is a second one in December. The first one was in July, which was more of an individual competition. But this one we wanted to kind of give back to our sponsors and make sure our sponsors, exactly like what we're doing now, get our sponsors some mileage and get them to get their brand out and get their message across. So the idea why we had it around Christmas time at the end of the year is obviously so maybe try and get more of a Christmas feel and get more of a participation from the what do you say, the workers and employees, and so whether it be like a Christmas party kind of vibe or staff building exercise.
It definitely was. I had the joy of actually being there on both evenings, on December the 2nd and on the 4th. And the thing that struck me was the fact that everybody was a family. Everybody was just having an absolute ball. You wouldn't think of it as, you know, normally as golf has been tagged over the years, you know, the elder generation sort of they're like, you know, just sort of putting along. I mean, this was an absolute party, but things were a bit different as well, because if I'm not mistaken, at the corporate edition, there was perhaps a change of course. You modified some stuff, right?
Yes, somewhat, not greatly, but we did make some modifications, again, to make it a little easier, because we want, obviously, with the corporate, not everybody's going to be a golfer. Liam is an avid golfer, very good golfer, but not everybody. We want to encourage amateurs to come in. I think we even tried to get you on stage, but it didn't work very well. And so we want to make it a little bit easier and accessible, because it's just, a lot of it is to try and get people's interest in the game. Yeah, so it's not really to cancel out and take away from the traditional golf on a golf course,
right?
But to get people to come out and try it, and then hopefully it will build the game of golf in the country.
Now that is so true, and I would love to get back to that point with you in a few moments, because we need to talk about the Sunday part of it, because that was something completely different. But Liam, just to hear from you, one of the things that Kevin mentioned was that it was to bring about, you know, team building and that camaraderie among workmates, friends, family. Is that something that you experienced during the event?
Certainly. I had a team. There was 4 of us. We obviously won the team prize, and it was nice to cheer on someone else, rather than myself, because golf is an individual sport. So it was nice to see them hit and be like, oh wow, great shot, you know what I mean? And obviously I was also fortunate enough to win the individual prize, which is, I got both parts of the spectrum. Shout out to the Bricks for the great prize they gave me as well. But yeah, I would say definitely different. This tournament is different. It brings out the best in everyone. Everyone's having fun. And obviously that competitive aspect, which is always great. I always enjoy competition.
Wonderful to see that. And of course, it's something we all witness there, and congratulations again. Now, Kevin, you were just speaking about, you know, inclusion, bringing people to the game. And one of the things that really struck me on Sunday was the fact that it was all ages. You would, you know, it wasn't a problem. You could bring your family, come out and have a time. Do you think this is something that moving forward we can basically normalize when it comes to golf?
Definitely. Again, go back to the fet match mentality. That's what we as Trinis like, especially when it comes to sport. But apart from that, I mean, with the all ages, we are going to have a junior Wedge Wars, which is coming in April. And that's really so we're looking at between 5 and 15 years old. So apart from that, that will be a little bit more of a family vibe. Yeah, and inclusion for the young and old.
Wonderful. So viewers, of course, on the screen right now, you're seeing just some clips of some of the ladies of Wedge Wars, along with, of course, some of the participants on the event that took place on the Sunday. Of course, that feeling of family, love, sports, and a bit of festivity as well was rampant throughout the game. And of course, the best part was as well that we got to watch the World Cup at the same time.
Correct.
Who can forget that? That was monumental. You saw 1 minute everybody was there watching the golf, and every minute watching the World Cup to see what was happening. Now, something that we would like to speak about, Kevin, as you said, you want to, of course, keep golf the way that it is, but we're also looking towards opening it up.
Yes.
Aside from having your Wedge Wars and then having your children's edition, or your kids edition coming up rather, what else would you say, perhaps, is there anything in the works that is moving towards that goal?
Moving towards the goal. Well, we're going to, so as I stated before, within golf, I mean, there are many disciplines, but like there maybe 4 or 5 main disciplines. So this Wedge Wars was the first. We'll make an individual competition out of that part of it. As we know, on the Friday we had the putting as well, up at Lara's residence, and we do have in July we do plan to bring driver wars, which is the big tonto part of golf, where you get to try and hit the ball as far as you can.
Okay, so that's what driving is. And
that's what driving the ball is. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first shot in the game of golf is the driver. You use the biggest club and try and hit the ball as far as you can, and that's to come in July. So
you have a lot coming up. So we have the Kids Wedge Wars coming up. You have Driving Wars coming up as well. Liam, are you ready for Driving Wars?
I think I'm ready. Any size of me.
Definitely ready.
So how many people normally take part in your events? Because I know this is not the first one. You had one earlier last year as well. How many people do you?
Well, we always, it's a 4-man team normally. I mean, we're happy to stick with that. So in overall, so we normally have 20 teams, so around 80 contestants, 80 people participating. Yeah.
And this is open to men and women as well.
Definitely. Yeah. So one of the great things about golf, I think, is the one game that anybody can play and anybody could compete. A young man like Liam could compete with a 65-year-old woman, and it is a good competition. And you know, she can't beat him.
And do you need to be a member of a club?
It helps, but no, you don't have to. Definitely not for Wedge Wars.
Okay.
But in golf in general, I mean, we have 6 golf courses in Trinidad and I think 2 in Tobago. So it helps, but no, it's not necessary.
All right, great. So Liam, you are, well, the reigning champ. Now, for those of you that don't know, there's also best dress and stuff like that too, but we're not going to get into that right now. There are lots of prizes. But share something with us. Were you part of the first Wedge Wars?
I was part of the first Wedge
Wars.
Wars.
So you just came in and
I actually won the first Wedge Wars with a different team. Completely different team, but we...
So we're going to have to handicap Liam a little
I'm surprised I'm not banned for the tournament yet.
Well, you're here with us now, and of course it's a blessing to have you, and it's a blessing to have you with us as well, Kevin, because what you are doing and what you are standing for as well, of course, is changing the face of something that you know, as we said before, it may have gotten a bit of a, what is that word that I'm looking for? It just escaped me. But, you know, sometimes we look at things and we judge them. And we don't realize how good it is. You know, we were just talking about mental health earlier on the show, and the fact that, you know, sport is something that can play that role in being able to build people up and also give you that space to release, for want of a better expression. So we thank you so much both for being here this morning. Looking forward to Wedge Wars 2023 coming up for children, of course, driving wars. Good luck, Liam. And another Golf Games TT round. Kevin Eifell and Liam Bryden, co-founder of Golf Games TT, and Liam Bryden, the winner, the continuous winner of Golf Games TT Wedge Wars, with us on the Now Morning Show. There's more coming up. Stay tuned.